Hey everybody, we're back here in the Kids Corner today. We got Allie Hobson, friend of the show. She's brought her children in and some other people, just one child.
Just one. No.
Don't want to put anything else on you. But we're talking a little bit about getting kids fishing, and one of the first things we want to talk about, is some of the guys mentioned it, was attention spans.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty short when it comes to the little ones and fishing, but for the most part they seem to enjoy it, and it's quick and over pretty fast, but at the same time it's very enjoyable and they absolutely love it.
Yeah, you don't want to plan, a 4-hour trip, try to keep things down to an hour or less. Once your kids get over 7 or 8, you can start, getting that longer, but once they're under say 6 or 5, you want to keep it a little shorter.
Definitely.
And you want to have some action. So one of the things that you want to do to make sure you're going to get some action is get to a spot where you know there's something there.
And that's kind of where I started out as a kid, was like the ponds and lakes and little canals in Miami, South Florida, and full of brim. Brim are one of the easiest fish to catch, and use basically bread balls here like these kids are using.
And little tiny hooks. If you want to make sure that you just about catch every fish that bites, you want to use really tiny small hooks and stuff. That way when they eat it, they're gonna get a hook in it, and you don't have to worry about kids getting hurt with these tiny little hooks. You might get a little prick in them, but if you go ahead and flatten down the barbs, it'll keep them from going all the way in.
Just take a set of pliers, pop it down, and that way it's easier to get the fish off for them.
Yep, and it's easier to get out of everything. And what thing you want to do is you get yourself some, when they first start out, you want to get something that's pretty much indestructible, because they're going to be using it for a sword, or to whack the kid next to them, or banging it off the dock.
They're going to be breaking apart pretty easily.
The little ugly sticks and whatnot like that, because they don't cost that much and they're almost indestructible.
Exactly.
Pure fiberglass is what you want to use.
And if for some crazy reason they don't pick it up, you didn't spend a whole lot of money on it.
Correct. And they are going to mess things up.
Oh yeah.
And there's a big deal about whether you want to use real heavy line or real light line.
I would say definitely a little bit heavier.
Unless you want to be
reason for that.
tying off
constantly,
because they're going to be throwing it into stuff, and you're going to be tying more and more hooks, and if you use really light line, you're going to be busting them off over and over again. Use real heavy line, almost too heavy for them to break. And if it's too light and they're pulling, and it breaks on them, they can get themselves hurt with a rod tip or jerk something out.
Yeah.
Use a heavier line.
Line is better when it comes to these kiddos.
Also, we don't want to have to worry about them putting action on a lure or anything.
Right.
So some of the stuff that we want to pick are things that have all the action in them already. Like lipped plugs, like some of these Rapala plugs.
Exactly. These guys here.
With some of these single hooks and whatnot.
Yep.
Like the Miradine.
Yep.
And the spoons as well.
Here are even good.
Now, when you go to live bait, Allie, that's where you brought some stuff in here for the live bait.
For live bait, one of the things down in like South Florida as well, we have saltwater canals and stuff like that, and another good fish for them to go after would be like mangrove snapper, little mangrove snapper and stuff like that. A good way to get those guys going is set up a little chum bag. You can buy chum in any of your local bait store. Get that in the water, get those fish going crazy, and live shrimp is key. For one, it's really fun to kind of watch them with the live shrimp, getting them out of the bucket. They're flipping around.
They're playing with something.
Oh yeah, they're having a good time. So if that's not enough, then catching small, little mangrove snapper will be good too. So we just get like a small little, 1/0 circle hook, 2/0 circle hook, and then we got our live shrimp here. And let me grab one of those guys. And just want to go ahead and hook it back here behind.
You want to go ahead and put him on there?
All that dark stuff there. And this way, it's kind of through the hard part of the shell there. And that way, when they're dropping it and going with it, it won't
He's going straight down. Put a little split shot on there.
And then another way to get it down to where
get a crab.
You want to get a crab?
Another way to get down to where all the fish are is put a little split shot on there. It's just a little lead weight, and just pinches on, and then drops it down to where the fish are there. So.
Right. Well, we got some bread balls out here too.
Yeah, we do.
Because that's what we usually catch. We got a little picture of my little girl. She actually caught a little brim right out on the dock today, right before she got down here on a little bread ball. On this little rod right here this was the exact same one. That's her. Go Gators. She loves Molly Moo loves the Gators
awesome.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to make a bread ball for these things, the bread ball, a lot of guys they'll go for the edge. I like the doughy middle of the bread ball because it makes a really good tight ball that we can put right on here. And you don't want to make them too big. You just want to cover up the hook just perfect.
And if you need a snack in the meantime.
They are delicious.
The kids have been
Did you
eating the
make a
bread
bread
here.
ball? That's about the right size you want right there. Even maybe a little smaller. You don't want to make them too big because the brim will tear them all to pieces instead of swallowing them whole. And we want them to try to swallow it whole. Huh? That is a
That's
small
a
one.
perfect
That's a
size,
perfect
actually,
one.
right there.